So this year will be part 2 of the series I started yesterday, speaking about some of the things that hold us back as a people from how we are raised culturally, and some of the customs in which we are raised. If you've looked closely, the way we are raised, people who are timid, people who cannot speak for themselves, people who cannot stand for themselves, people who cannot stand for what they believe in, are called good people. They are called humble people. Everybody wants to be called humble. And the same way, culturally, customarily, traditionally, how we are raised, that same system. When anyone decides to speak their truth, when anyone decides to stand for what they believe in, that same system causes people to point fingers at you and call your names, call you proud, you are this, you are too known, and all that. And all that is affecting us. All that is affecting a lot of people. So what I'm coming here to do is, once you come of age, become an adult. If you've not watched the series I did on Are You Whole? Are You an Adult? If you've not watched that, you can watch that. I think it's from part 1 to 3. And I said a lot of things over there, and I'm just, adding this one. You see, once you come of age, there are certain changes you have to make in your mind. One of the things why a lot of Africans are struggling to be able to break out, to make certain strides, to be able to achieve certain things. A lot of it is coming from the way we are raised and some of the things you were told since you were childhood that you are still holding on to. Even now that you are an adult, you are still holding on to those things. So you see people keep repeating the same mistake, and they keep looking around and asking, where is the problem coming from? Some of the things you were raised with, the fundamental things you were raised with, that you are still holding on to, but those things that were put there was so that you could be easily manipulated and controlled. Some of those things that you are still carrying, you have carried into your adulthood, is the problem. So when you become an adult, like I said, if you've not watched, Are You Whole? Are You an Adult? Go and watch that one. It's part 1, part 2, part 3. I said a lot of things in that. When you become an adult, and like I said, with our law here in Ghana, when you are 18 years, you're an adult, per aspect of the Constitution. At that time, you have to start rearranging. You have to start changing things. I'm telling you. There are a lot of things people have said. There are a lot of things people say around, but I want to point out that fact. So people are complaining. Every time a country goes to negotiate something from outside and all this. Why is it that outsiders are taking more percentage than us and all that? You have been raised in a culture. You've been raised in a culture, tradition, in a kind of system, that congratulates people who are timid. Congratulates people who don't stand out. It congratulates people who don't speak up, even when the wrong thing are being done to them. So you hear things like enyeshi, famanyame, enyeshi, jamaninka, enyeshi, famanyame, and the same thing keeps reoccurring. The same thing is being repeated over and over and over again, and a lot of people are being destroyed. This is a kind of system, the kind of customs, culture, tradition that you are raised in. that is unaccountable, that does not hold people accountable. Whatever you are doing, if you know you are going to be held accountable, you are going to do the right thing. Whatever you are doing, if you've seen whatever you are doing, if you have seen someone handle the same thing wrongly, and the person has been dealt with, when you yourself are handling the same thing, you are very careful, because if I don't handle it well, that is what is going to happen to me. I'm telling you something. I'm bringing something to your understanding. I'm pointing certain things out. You are raised in a culture that celebrates being timid, celebrates being quiet, being docile about things that are affecting people and destroying people. So the person comes to back and is gone scot-free. Not that he's not going to, not that the person is not going to repeat the same thing again. So a lot of the culture, some of these things, this setup a lot of us have here, it doesn't hold people accountable. It doesn't hold people accountable. It doesn't hold people responsible. So everybody is just doing something. I'm telling you. So once you come of age, you have to amend. You have to upgrade. You have to change that style of thinking. You know, that people are not held accountable. They just do stuff and you're just going around. You take the case to elders. You call the elders, take the case to them, and the case will be ruled in favor of the older person because they are older than you, and not because they are right. This is a kind of, and all of these things affects us. I'm telling you, it affects you wherever you're going. It will affect you in a corporate space, and a lot of the things we see happening in society, in a corporate space, a lot of those things happening is because, you see, the people who are there in that corporate space are made up of people who are coming from the community. So whatever they have accepted at home, whatever the community has made them believe, is the same thing they are going to export then to the corporate space. It's the same thing. The same customs, traditions, culture. One of the things I've realized, it raises people to think we are all the same. So people who come from, siblings who come from the same mother, the same father, feel we are all the same, feel we are all supposed to be the same, feel we are all supposed to achieve the same. It's not true. These are some of the things that is limiting a lot of people, especially when a lot of Africans, wherever you find them, the way we think, some of these thought patterns. If twins who split out from one cell, they split out and become two. If twins who split out from one cell to become two, if their destiny, their purpose, their assignment is not the same, then who is telling people that children who come from a mother and a father, all the children who come from a mother and father are supposed to attain the same things? It's not true. Each and every one of you has your own purpose, your own assignment, your own mission, your own destiny. Your life is wired in a different way. And a lot of, so because people think we are all supposed to be the same, we are all supposed to achieve the same thing, when they see somebody being exceptionally well, it becomes a problem. Why? Because the system that raised you has made you believe that we are all the same, we are on the same level, we are in the same family, we are the same. It's not true. Each and every one has their own purpose, their own assignment, their own destiny. This is part 2. Watch for part 3.